Well, we're jamming here at the Stockwell Eldridge Show. Welcome back. I'm Jason Stockwell, Remax Results.
And I'm Dawn Eldridge with Remax Results. More Bowie for your wife.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, I didn't even know. Was that David Bowie?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're just tuning in, folks, we've been talking with Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo.
Hello.
And with Chief Larry Erickson and Major Sean Reif. Major Sean Reif with Junk 360 and Larry Erickson with Financial Education Services. And both vets, part of trustvets.com, which is an organization of veteran-owned businesses that can help. You can go to the website and type in your service that you're looking for, accounting, junk removal, financial services, all kinds of stuff in there. And then they'll appoint you or send you to people or give you information of people that are in the area, in your area, that offer those services that are veteran-owned businesses. And learning a ton from the show so far, guys, so I appreciate that. I wanted to just say a quick quote that probably pertains to everybody. It says, "Our acts make or mar us. We are the children of our own deeds." So, and Victor Hugo said that. So that, we got to start seeing it. We've seen a lot of blaming. And you look at politics and everybody, it's never my fault, or it's always someone else, or it's always someone else's responsibility. And I don't know where, I mean, everybody's guilty of it. I'm sure I am too on some level, always on not always, but on some level on that, because it's hard to take responsibility, especially if something goes wrong. So I would say that we all go through hardships and hard times and issues, and if you're involved in it, take some of the responsibility, because your actions do result in the outcome, whether you want to admit that or not. So anyway, not to take everybody down, but
no, it's very true. I agree. I always look at
Words of Wisdom by Jason
my...
Stockwell.
Yes, exactly.
No, by Victor Hugo. This is by Victor Hugo.
Oh, sorry.
Well, he only said that part. You said everything else.
You said
so
everything.
there are words of wisdom, and you're absolutely right. And so is Victor. I mean, you always need to self-analyze with, how could I have reacted differently to change the outcome? And I think it's important that everybody does it, whether you're on the side of being attacked or you are the attacker.
Yes, and
I've learned that quite well over the last few years.
Have you done? Oh, that's good. So take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for your financial future. Contact someone who can help you, like Larry Erickson with Financial Services. If you have some debt, if you're struggling in that area. If you want to buy a house, contact us. If you need a mortgage, contact Stephanie and come up with a plan. Whether you're ready now or not, or but if it's in your action plan, right? So if you're saying, hey, in the next few years, I want to do this. Or, no offense to the folks out there that we go to your houses, we love you, and we go to your houses, but some of you probably could really need to call Sean and get some help with the stuff in your house.
Well, that was
let it go, right? Let some of the stuff go. I'm not one to let stuff go. I like to hold on.
Well,
to stuff,
and that was kind of was going to be my question to you, Sean, and kind of what I was asking earlier is. And I know I've watched that show Hoarders a couple times, and it's amazing how these people, they're so attached to stuff.
I know.
And so, I love it, like you said, that you kind of sort it out and you try to give to different organizations. So if you were to come to my house, and do I have to have things all packaged up and ready for you to go, or can I just, do you guys just come in and say, okay, can I just stack it up in my garage and say, here, just take this, or do I have to put things in boxes and organize it all?
No, it's we're here to help. So wherever it is in the house, whatever condition it's in, we'll do it right there. Just leave it. If you want to help organize, and some people are very, they want to be hands-on and they can help, that's great. But we're here to take, people from all different levels, small items, that I just can't get this couch out of the basement, or I have this huge giant TV upstairs. We're going to haul it all out for you. We're going to do all the work. And that's really what the service is getting the crews to come in there. And we talk with our crews all the time about helping people transition from these items. Should I get rid of this? They end up with 4 boxes, and they're like, maybe I should get rid of these. Like, if you haven't touched it in a year or two, maybe time to let it go. One of the cheapest ways to do a remodel on your house is just to get rid of some stuff and open up the space.
Yeah.
So you actually offered probably too a little bit of education on
we try to
junk removal, right?
Yeah,
that's great.
We want people to have, just don't be cluttered with your life. Don't be stuck with all the things that you have. it's sometimes simpler to have, less is more.
Yeah, and we've had that. We had the feng shui lady on that one show.
Yeah,
and she talked
Kim
about
Julene.
that.
She came through my house.
Did she?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was, and I finally actually felt like I moved into my house. Like I didn't feel like I'd totally taken it over, but I mean, especially with too much clutter, I think people can start to feel almost trapped or confined. And when you start to remove
Right.
it, it's so freeing to
I think,
get rid of it all. And
A lot of people are transitioning. They have their parents are seniors, and they have to transition that house to get ready to go on the market, or they're downsizing, and there's the lifetime of memories in those houses.
Yeah.
And the kids don't want it. So if we can find a place that'll give it back, and someone can get use out of it, there's it makes it a little easier to get rid
Recycle
of
it.
that.
Someone else will use it. And another tip too is someone said this too, because I'm kind of my wife's a let it go, very let it go. Like anything we don't need, she wants to get rid of. I like to hang on to things for not necessarily to use them, but memories, right? Memorabilia.
Right.
I really like to have the memory, and I remember that, right? So what someone told her to tell me is take a picture of it on your digital phone or on your camera, save it, and you'll be able to remember it in that picture, whatever it is, right? And then
Right.
you can get rid of it, and you're okay, and it's not there, but you still have the memory because you see the picture, and then someone else, like you said, Sean, can utilize it. And I think it's great. And I think the need for your service and for yours as well, Larry, right now, we work with a lot of conservators. We had Rebecca Rich on the show, who's a guardian conservator. Lots of need for people, exactly like you said, that are going into an apartment, going into assisted living, moving into a one level somewhere that have a lot of stuff, and they have to get rid of it. And then the other thing is a lot of them are probably learning, maybe too late, that they should have been talking with you, Larry, earlier on, because guess who's forcing them to do certain things?
Sure.
The state. They have to do this. You're forced to liquidate instead of being able to maybe manage that a little in a way that might be better for your family members or loved ones.
Absolutely.
will you help people set up a trust?
Our program does, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it does a will, a trust, power of attorney, and healthcare power of attorney. The system does that. And we have analysts and we have attorneys on staff that'll help people walk through that. And if you understand it, everybody knows that they need that. But like Jason was talking a little bit before, your decisions and actions, one of the things that we try to really emphasize is if we as individuals control our thoughts and emotions, if we can control that, then we can control our decisions, controls our actions, which helps us pre-plan and not just put stuff off all the time.
Yeah.
Well, and I think-
Doing is so hard. I mean, there's so many things in your head and that you want to do, but it's not a priority enough, or you
Right.
just don't do it, or you get distracted. But
Well, and I think sometimes too, like people, with maybe spending habits. I mean, a lot of spending creates a lot of unnecessary stuff in the house, and it's like you're talking about too. It really is when you start freeing up those things. I know Jason, we both did the Dave Ramsey
Yeah.
class, and same thing. He kind of talks
Financial
about
Peace University, I'd highly recommend
yeah,
it for any
amazing.
individual
Our church
or
is
couple.
doing it again, but yeah, that really is a great one too, and it really talks about like paying cash, and if you can't. Not use it on credit. If you can't pay cash, then don't buy it, and all that kind of stuff. So
And there's a piece of that, we say don't use credit, but there's a proper way to use credit. Because if you
Yes.
don't ever have any credit, you're not going to
that
get a
can be an
mortgage.
issue, right? Yeah.
I had one client, my oldest one, she's 82 years old, and she tried to be a conservator for her brother, and she couldn't do it because she didn't have a credit score.
Really?
Wow.
So actually, Larry, can you tell us
Wow.
quick on break? You're telling us about what you do. You also do a education. You teach. Is that what it is?
I teach at St. Mary's University
Okay.
and teach people how to behave in business. So I don't ever run out of examples of how
you
not
go
to
to
behave.
Yeah.
You
should
you
have
come-
a very full class too.
I was just
I
gonna
do.
say, can you come to one of my team meetings for my employees? I'm just kidding.
But one of the things when I work with my students in the first session, which one starts next week, is I have them describe what it means to be educated, and then I ask them why they're getting this MBA or the doctorate degree, and then we have about an hour and a half discussion on that. Because if they're just doing that education so they can make more money, that's not a good reason. You have to have more purpose in that. Because if it's just going to drive you in debt, and it's going to take you 15 years to get out of that student loan, understand a third of my customers are my customers because of student loan problems.
a third of your customers because they're unable to pay it back, or it's too much debt, or they're
Well,
trying to figure out how to pay it back or restructure it?
It's
Or?
all a combination. Usually what happens is that they have the debt. You have to pay it. Government's not going to let you out of it, at least currently. Mm-hmm. And they don't make the payments.
Well, Bernie Sanders didn't get elected. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to worry about this issue.
That's right.
Yeah, everybody's
Right.
going to get free college.
Yeah.
But part of it too is the MBA. I think that's great. And when they go through and you ask them, why are you doing this? Because what's the why? Are you just doing it because you have nothing else to do and you want to keep going into schooling? I've seen people do that, and they just
schoolaholics.
bury
Sure.
themselves
Yeah.
in debt.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's a piece of the exercise. Have them take a look at where they're at today and where they want to be in 5 years. And is the MBA, as an example, going to help them get it there?
Yeah.
If it's not, then why are you doing it? Save your money.
Right.
Yep,
You know?
exactly.
So,
Great information, folks. Junk 360 Financial Education Services, Larry Erickson and Sean Reif. Go to their websites. We'll have it on our Facebook page. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
And I'm Don Eldridge, Remax Results.
We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
I wish I had somebody to help me sing this.